It's really unbelievable that we are still in almost every competition. The first one we got out of, that was the Carabao Cup. We got out as winners. You know that very well. 26th April is the first day that Erik ten Hag won his first trophy as a United manager. He went again to push to the semi-finals of the FA Cup, and he beat Fulham by 3-1. But remember, on Thursday, United had knocked out Real Betis out of the UEFA Europa League by reaching the quarterfinal, and we've been drawn against Sevilla, a team that is really performing badly this season. Welcome to United Matters channel. How are you guys, and where are you watching us from? This is the segment in which we find ourselves rating the players of United that stepped up on the field of play. So smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, lower right bottom corner is the place to be. Smash the black button that has the word subscribe. After smashing it, hit the notification bell. That will enable you get notified every time we upload a video onto our YouTube channel. Now, guys, you know, these are some of the games that you feel hard to rate players, because there are those that really had some good spells even before we scored, and there are those that really raised the bar to the next level towards us scoring. You know, we dominated for like 10 minutes. I think when Anthony came in through and the manager really took Sabitzer and Bruno Fernandes to double pivot, that's when this game changed. That was the game changer, and Erik ten Hag has to be credited for that masterclass substitution, because it takes a brave manager to do that. That's it, because you know that Fulham had Paulinho in their central defensive midfield, one of the best CDMs in the Premier League this season, after Casemiro, Rodri, Thomas Partey, the likes of Caicedo, but Paulinho is one of the best CDMs in the Premier League. So United found themselves in a position of really winning lots of things, and we are up and running. That's it. I know it was not a vintage performance that we'll go out and really talk about, but I think after that substitution, the game changed. That's it. So let's go to David De Gea. I'm giving him a 7.5 out of 10 because he kept us in the game very many times. He pulled out close to 3 saves that put us into that kept us into the domain of really leveling that game. I remember that header of Mitrovic, I think around the 60th minute, that he saves off the saves that he saved from our goal. And on the other day, if it was not a very good goalkeeper, he would have found himself missing out on that. If we go 2 goals down, then I think the hope of really killing off this game in 90 minutes was totally over. But I think would have gone ahead to pull 2 back, and then we go to extra time or penalties. That's it. But David De Gea, a 7.5 out of 10 for me. We go to Bissaka. I think had some spells of good. I think had some good and bad spells in the game. I'm giving him a 6.5 out of 10. That is Aaron Bissaka. That's it. I'm giving him a 6.5 out of 10. Luke Shaw coming in for that assist, you know, that puts us back in the game, and him being solid at the back, obviously I'm giving him a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 for me. That is 7 out of 10 from me to Luke Shaw. Then the central defense, Lisandro Martinez. Guys, he was super solid. You know what it means being a player of that height, and you are marking one of the tallest players in the Premier League and the top aerial threats in the league. It's really, really, really great for a player known as Lisandro Martinez. And according to how he really went ahead to mark Mitrovic, 7.5 out of 10 for me. That's what I'm giving Lisandro Martinez. He was really, 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 really great into that beautiful game of football. Then Harry Maguire. Guys, I'm sorry to say, but I'm going to give him a 5.5 out of 10. To me, he's abysmal. He's that piece that we don't need into our jigsaw. That's it. He's the piece that deserves to really leave the team. most of the times we talk about the missing piece in the puzzle, the missing piece into the jigsaw, but this is the surplus piece to requirement into our jigsaw. That's it. So I think the earlier he left, the better for his reputation and his career. So I'm giving him a 5.5 out of 10. Scott McTominay, another player who won all the tackles, interceptions, he made the blocks, he made the checkmates in that central midfield area. But every time you make that block, you need to know what's next. And obviously, the what next question made him look an ugly player on the day. And I'm giving him a 6 out of 10. That's why Ten Hag took him out. And you see to it that when they took him off, we turned into a better team. That's it. So I'm giving him a 6 out of 10. That is Scott McTominay. Let's go to Sabitzer, scoring his first goal for Manchester United. Had some good spells. He released Rashford at the first half, had a shot on target, and I think he had close to 2 shots on target in this game, and one went to the back of the net. But he was really flawless in that midfield. You know, he's a player I love. I know you also love the player, and he is working his ass off to see to it that he becomes one of those players to come in through and obviously take over Manchester United and get signed in the summer on a permanent deal. I believe there is a player in Sabitzer, and my only prayer is I would love to see Sabitzer play alongside Casemiro. That's it. That's my only prayer. And I'm insinuating always, it's like the third time I'm talking about this, that when Eriksen returns back after the international break, we might see a team that is having 4 midfielders. And I think today or tomorrow, I'm going to do a video of how Erik ten Hag can line up with Casemiro, Sabitzer, Eriksen, and Bruno Fernandes. How he can line up with them in the same team. I'm going to do that because it is really highly called for. That's it. It's really highly called for, and there is no way you can run away from it. It's really one of those things that you would love to see happen at the club of Manchester United, because that quality and talent put together, the anticipations are always high. You get? The expectations are always high for that, because you look at Bruno, confident with the ball, Casemiro the same, Sabitzer the same, and Eriksen. Guys, I think the team that we are going to play with that lineup is going to really face it rough. That's it. But that will come in later towards the game of, is it Brighton? That's it. So I'm giving Sabitzer an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 for me for Sabitzer. I go to Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes. You know, being played out of position, the manager told him, all right, drop deep and play with Sabitzer into the double pivot. They controlled that midfield very well when they played together, and we looked a threatening side again. So Bruno, 8.5 out of 10 for me. 8.5 out of 10 for me. 2 goals scored. He brought us back to life. Obviously, he is a born leader and leading by example at Manchester United. That is Bruno Fernandes for you. Then Jadon Sancho. To me, this is one of those games that he's going to have to really play and help us with his composure. And obviously, if you want to know what Sancho is all about in this beautiful game of football, watch that game of Fulham. Watch it back 10 times. You're going to know what Sancho brings onto the plate every time he's played, every time he really rises up to the occasion. In the first half, he released Sabitzer, and Sabitzer made a cutback that Rashford never really bothered to really tap into the back of the net, yet he was really in the same vicinity with the ball. Then after, he released, he had a shot on tap. So I'm talking about Sancho. Then he gave that cutback. He gave a pass to McTominay in the 6 yards box area. For that, I think he made a bad decision. He would have gone ahead to take an extra touch and face the goalkeeper and maybe hit that ball in the back of the net. That is Jadon Sancho. But in the second half, the penalty we get, it's because of Jadon Sancho. And I think the assist goes to him because his goal scoring opportunity is denied to him by Willian. using his hand to really get that ball out of the goal. That's it. And the second goal we score, he releases Luke Shaw goes low into the mouth of the goal, and Sabitzer goes in for a flick that went into the back of the net. So I'm giving him an 8.5 out of 10. That's it. You know, this game was having a Sancho written all over it to make a decision on whether we win or not. So I'm giving him an 8.5 out of 10. Then let's go to Marcus Rashford. To me, I think he had one of his worst games to me. Yeah, very silent, very selfish, undecided. I think the only time he made a right decision was when he gave Weghorst around the 15th minute when we hit Fulham on the break, just did a chop back and then found that pass onto Weghorst, and Weghorst went in for a baby shot using his left foot. I think that's the only time I saw him like, yeah, Rashford was like Rashford. But I'm giving Rashford a 6 out of 10. I'm sorry, but I'm giving him a 6 out of 10. I don't remember anything else he did in that field of play. That's it. 6 out of 10 for me for Marcus Rashford. Now, is it because of fatigue? I don't think so, because fatigue doesn't make you to really not tap that ball in or do a cutback or even do easier things. I think he deserves some rest. And him going to the international break, I think he's going to spend like a week without playing. I think England is playing on Thursday, and I think he won't play 90 minutes. He'll play like some 60, then he gets rested. I think those two games, he's going to get rested and return to Old Trafford with a fresh mind altogether. Sometimes you need a different environment altogether to really rediscover yourself into what you're supposed to do. But the goals, he's scoring them, 27 goals this season, and I think he's going to hit 40 goals this season because we're having very many games to go that Rashford is going to score in. After that, let's go to Wout Weghorst. I think I'm giving him a 6 out of 10 for me again. Had nothing to do in that game according to me, and I don't always blame him a lot because very few chances are created for him, and if I really want him to be on the score sheet, you need to give him chances and feed him. So I'm giving him a 6 out of 10. Let's go to the substitutes. Anthony was the first substitution that Erik ten Hag made. He took off Scott McTominay for Bruno and Casemiro to drop deep into the double pivot, and Anthony was responsible for the turnaround. He really became a problem to that left back. Was it is it Simons? And on every occasion looks like he could go past him. The first goal we score, Bruno releases him, and obviously he finds himself in a position of finding Sancho. Sancho sits on the goalkeeper and forces a penalty in. So I'm giving him a 7 out of 10. That is Anthony for me because he changes the game. Anthony changes the game. Then after that, let's talk a little bit about who else came in through. Fred came on through, responsible for an assist. By the way, guys, to me, I think if Erik ten Hag could find a way of not starting Fred always and playing him off the bench, I think one of the impactful substitutions or players that we've got at Old Trafford, it's Fred. Fred does well every time we are playing into those positions, and he really had a very fantastic display on the day, and I'm giving him a 7 out of 10. It was a cameo, but I think he came in through and really showed us why he deserves to be on that field of play every time we need an impactful action coming in from the bench. So I think those are the players that came in through. Not so? Is there any player forgotten to rate? Let me check very well, because people have always told me, Rokani, you've not rated Aaron Wan-Bissaka. You're having an agenda onto that player. But let me check. Let me check and see. All the substitutions that came in through. Let me see. Have I really mentioned all of them? Because Ten Hag made only 2 substitutions. That's it. Anthony and Fred. That's it. So, my man of the match, it should be either Bruno or Sancho, according to me. But to me, I'm going for Sancho. I'm going for Sancho. He was really sublime and flawless. Though others will go for Bruno, others will go for David De Gea, others Lisandro Martinez, but I'm going in for Sancho. That's it. Sancho is my man of the match. But if at all you give me Bruno, I take him on the day. Lisandro Martinez, I take him on the day. David De Gea, all right. He can be amongst the contenders for me, but I think Bruno, Lisandro Martinez, and Sancho did a better job on the day. Not so? So, my man of the match is Bruno Fernandes. Eric Ten Hag, 7.5 out of 10. Do you know why? He makes that substitution that really changes the game and gives us a different rhythm altogether. So, may the Almighty bless you abundantly. Your reactions to my player ratings are welcome in the comment section below. So, your player ratings are welcome. Throw them in, send them to me, and I'm going to go ahead and really do the needful to go through them, or peruse through them in the comment section below. May the Almighty bless you abundantly, and may Him enlighten your day as it's a Monday. Are we heading to Easter, guys? Are we heading to Easter, or we are just some weeks away? Let me check. When is Easter? Easter Sunday. It's 9th April, right? We are still. How many days left? 20 days left to Easter. So guys, let's go in the international break. Let's keep our hands crossed for the players of United to not get injuries, especially those pivotal players. By the way, we don't need any player to get injuries because we are having enough injuries. Right now, we are having Varane, Eriksson, Garnacho, Anton Martial, Casemiro suspended. Who else is injured? Donny van Beek. I counted like 7 injuries that you're having at Manchester United. So we don't need any other injury, guys. Thank you for watching in through. Good morning. See you later.